During the 2026 World Cup, a member of FIFA's leadership structure walked up to the president of the Jordanian Football Association and told him something. He was told that if he endorsed Gianni Infantino for re-election as FIFA president, it would go a long way to helping his football association out. Jordan at that point was owed $4.2 million from the Arab Cup final they had reached 7 months earlier. Jordan's players were dealing with visa complications that had made it difficult for their supporters to travel to matches. Jordan was bearing the cost of taxes on prize money paid to them through FIFA's American banking structure, money that was supposed to go to their players and technical staff, but was being withheld because of how the finances were processed. And Jordan was not receiving the kind of institutional support from FIFA that other associations were receiving. Endorse Infantino, and it would go a long way to helping your federation out. Prince Ali bin Al Hussein, the president of the Jordanian Football Association, a member of the Jordanian royal family, a man who ran against Infantino for the FIFA presidency in 2016 and finished third, a former FIFA vice president who has spent a decade calling for reform and transparency in football governance, published those words today, August 4, 2026, on social media, publicly, using the word blackmail. He said FIFA had refused to help Jordan on any of these matters for months. He said the endorsement was communicated to him verbally during the World Cup. He said Jordan prides itself on upholding ethical values and did not endorse Infantino before and certainly will not now. And then he said the sentence that is now being described as the most serious individual accusation ever made against a sitting FIFA president by a National Football Association president in the history of the organization. The whole situation amounts to blackmail, and we refuse to give in to that. Blackmail from a former FIFA vice president about the sitting FIFA president during a crisis that has already produced a failed plan to sell the World Cup to private investors, a boycott threat from 3 confederations representing 143 member associations, the withdrawal of support from England and Wales, UEFA actively searching for a rival candidate, and a presidential election in March 2027 that Infantino, who 2 weeks ago was expected to run unopposed for a 4th term, is now genuinely at risk of losing. So what exactly happened to Jordan at the 2026 World Cup? And how does a country that made its historic first World Cup appearance end up accusing the FIFA president of blackmail 16 days after the tournament ended? Let's go through every detail, because Jordan's story at the 2026 World Cup is one that received almost no attention during the tournament itself. While the cameras followed Messi and Yamal and Kane and Haaland, Jordan were quietly experiencing a World Cup debut that should have been the greatest moment in their football history, but that came wrapped in institutional failure, financial complications, and what their federation president now describes as coercion. Jordan qualified for the 2026 World Cup for the first time in their history. They were drawn into Group G alongside England, Panama, and Slovakia. They played their matches in the United States, and from the moment their participation began, the complications accumulated. The first problem was fan access. Jordan supporters faced visa difficulties attempting to enter the United States to watch their team. This was not unique to Jordan. Multiple nations across Africa and Asia whose supporters wanted to travel to the tournament found the documentation process difficult, expensive, and uncertain in outcome. But Jordan's federation raised the issue with FIFA repeatedly during the months of preparation before the tournament. They received, Prince Ali said today, no meaningful help. The second problem was financial. Teams whose base camps were located inside the United States were required to pay taxes to the American government on prize money received through FIFA's payment structure. This was a consequence of the way FIFA processed tournament payments through its American banking arrangements. Teams that based themselves in Canada or Mexico outside of American tax jurisdiction did not face the same burden. Jordan, playing all their group stage matches in American cities and maintaining their base camp inside the United States, bore costs that their players were supposed to receive as performance bonuses. That money went instead to tax obligations that the players and technical staff were never meant to carry. Prince Ali raised that with FIFA. He received no meaningful help. The third problem predated the World Cup by 7 months. Jordan reached the final of the FIFA Arab Cup in December 2025, played in Qatar. The runner-up prize for that tournament was $4.2 million. 7 months later, as Jordan were participating in their first World Cup, they still had not received that money. FIFA had organized the Arab Cup. FIFA had established the prize structure. FIFA had confirmed the prize amounts, and FIFA had not paid Jordan the $4.2 million they were owed for finishing second. Prince Ali raised that with FIFA. He received no meaningful help. And then, during the World Cup itself, he was told that endorsing Infantino's re-election would go a long way to helping the federation out. That sequence is the one that transforms Jordan's story from a difficult World Cup experience into something much more serious. Because the implication of what was communicated to Prince Ali is specific, and its legal and ethical framing is clear. Outstanding prize money that a federation is owed, visa difficulties that have not been resolved, tax burdens that have not been addressed, and a verbal communication linking the resolution of those issues to a political endorsement for the sitting FIFA president's re-election campaign. Prince Ali said it amounts to blackmail. His use of that word is deliberate. He is a member of a royal family. He is a former FIFA vice president. He is a qualified and experienced figure in international football governance who understands exactly what he is saying and what it means to say it publicly. He did not use the word carelessly. He used it because it is the word he believes accurately describes what was communicated to him. FIFA has not commented on the accusations. Now let's understand the context in which this accusation lands today, because the timing of Prince Ali's statement is not coincidental. It arrives on August 4, 2026, exactly 1 week after FIFA was forced to withdraw its FIFA Forward Enterprise proposal following a boycott threat from UEFA, CONCACAF, and the AFC. The proposal that would have sold a 21% stake in the commercial operations of the World Cup to an investor group connected to Joshua Kushner, the brother of Donald Trump's son-in-law. The proposal that UEFA called irresponsible and indefensible. The proposal that all 41 CONCACAF members unanimously rejected. The proposal that the AFC said cannot realistically achieve the necessary broad consensus and unity required to move forward. That proposal was withdrawn last week, but its withdrawal did not end the crisis. It changed it, because the withdrawal of FFE revealed something about Infantino's position that the proposal itself had concealed. His support base, the network of member associations that has re-elected him 3 times, including once by acclamation, is fracturing. England and Wales have formally withdrawn their support for his re-election. The England Football Association, the Football Association of Wales, the Swedish Federation, the Finnish Federation have all moved away from Infantino in the days since the FFE crisis began. Asia is the battleground. Asia, represented by the AFC with its 47 member associations, is the continent where the March 2027 election will be decided. If Europe and North and Central America are moving away from Infantino, he needs Asia to hold. And if he needs Asia to hold, the individual votes of Asian member associations become individually valuable. Jordan is an Asian member association. Its endorsement is one of the 47 votes in the AFC bloc. And a verbal communication during the World Cup told Prince Ali that endorsing Infantino would go a long way to helping his federation out. Infantino, who 2 weeks ago appeared to be heading for a 4th term without opposition, is now in a position that no Facebook president has occupied since Sepp Blatter in the months before his resignation in 2015. Blatter resigned in June 2015, 4 days after being re-elected for a 5th term, as Swiss and American federal investigations closed around FIFA's leadership. He was subsequently banned from football for 8 years, later reduced to 6, for a disloyal payment to UEFA's then-president Michel Platini. Infantino was elected to replace Blatter in February 2016. He campaigned on reform and transparency. He said FIFA needed to change. He said the governance failures of the Blatter era would not be repeated. He won.
He was re-elected in 2019. He was re-elected by acclamation in 2023, in a process that did not involve a vote and that Norway's federation president later described as fundamentally flawed in terms of democratic process.
And today, in a post on social media from a member of the Jordanian royal family who has opposed him since 2015, the word blackmail has been publicly attached to his re-election campaign. Prince Ali ran against Infantino in 2016 and received 4 votes in the second round. He finished third. He knows FIFA's internal politics with a precision that comes from having competed inside them. When he says the whole situation amounts to blackmail and we refuse to give in to that, he is not speaking from the outside looking in. He is speaking from inside a system that he has known for 15 years, describing conduct that he experienced personally during an active World Cup, in which FIFA was simultaneously managing multiple other controversies that have now been publicly documented. The Council of Europe, which has a formal working agreement with FIFA signed by Infantino in 2018, has urged FIFA to improve its governance ahead of 2030. The former FIFA Ethics Committee head, Cornel Borbeli, the man who oversaw some of the most significant disciplinary proceedings in FIFA's recent history, wrote publicly that sanctions suspended under pressure within days, with no reasons given, combined with the authority of referees being called into question and racist abuse of players from elected officials, represented a picture of a tournament whose integrity was questioned in ways that FIFA now must address. Arsene Wenger, the legendary former Arsenal manager who now serves as FIFA's chief of global football development, said publicly that the withdrawal of the FFE proposal was absolutely necessary. That statement, from a man working inside FIFA's structure, publicly describing his own organization's flagship proposal as something that had to be withdrawn, tells you something about the environment inside FIFA's own walls in the days since the crisis began. Where does this leave Infantino's presidency? The March 2027 election is the deadline. Between now and then, the Ethics Committee complaints from Norway's Federation and Fair Square are pending. The Argentine disciplinary investigations are proceeding. The FFE withdrawal has damaged his credibility with the confederations that were his strongest supporters. The blackmail accusation from Prince Ali, which FIFA has not denied, adds a new category of alleged misconduct to a file that was already extensive. To survive to March 2027, Infantino needs to hold enough of the 211 member associations that 106 will vote for him. Europe is fracturing. North and Central America are moving away. Asia is the battleground, and the president of one Asian member association stood up today and said publicly that FIFA tried to trade outstanding prize money for a re-election endorsement. Jordan was owed $4.2 million from an Arab Cup FIFA organized. Jordan's players were taxed on prize money they should have received. Jordan's fans faced visa difficulties FIFA didn't help resolve. And Jordan's president was told during the World Cup that an endorsement would go a long way to helping the federation out. We refuse to give in to that. 5 words from a royal on a social media post published today, 16 days after the most controversial World Cup ended in New Jersey. While UEFA is looking for a rival candidate, while England and Wales have formally withdrawn support, while 3 confederations representing 143 member associations threaten to boycott FIFA competitions, while the FBI examines Argentine Federation finances, while disciplinary investigations are open, while Ethics Committee complaints are pending, while Arsene Wenger says the FFE withdrawal was absolutely necessary. This is Gianni Infantino's presidency today. This is the state of FIFA's governance today. This is the state of the sport that billions of people love 16 days after Spain lifted the World Cup trophy in New Jersey. What do you think? Does Prince Ali's blackmail accusation, if it remains undenied and uninvestigated by FIFA's own ethics committee, represent the single most damaging individual statement made about Infantino's conduct since his election in 2016? And with Asia now the critical battleground for the March 2027 election, do you believe other Asian Federation presidents will publicly join Prince Ali's position, or will Infantino find enough support in South America and Africa to survive?
Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for every development as this crisis continues to unfold, and share this with every football fan who needs to understand exactly what is happening to the sport they love right now.